So Moscow Urban Farm Company was started because I needed to have tax returns to show the USDA in 3 years when I applied for a beginning farmer loan to buy land. That was my plan. So I was friends with people in some of the local restaurants in town. So back in 2012, I decided I got access to a little bit of land, about a half an acre, and I started growing for the Black Cypress and Sangria Grill. It was a very small thing. It was all direct marketed to them. And I started, in order to do that, I took the CSA model where members pay in advance to capitalize the farm, and then in return they get boxes of produce throughout the growing season. I took that and I just did that with those two restaurants. So they each paid a little bit more money, and then throughout the growing season they got a box of produce, but that was a lot bigger than a normal CSA would get, and it's more scaled to restaurant size, and they would get a credit off their order every week until they were paid back. So it was a short-term operating loan, effectively paid back in produce. And that's been something that we've done now. We're going into our 4th year, and I'm doing that still with Sangria Grill, Black Cypress, Myelina, talking to Swilly's, and potentially a couple other restaurants. So that's actually been a really good thing, and it's allowed us to really flesh out some of the logistics involved in getting local food to the table, because there's not a distribution system for that here now. So that's how that started. I'm now in my 4th year with Moscow Urban Farm Company, and as I hoped it would happen, I applied for a beginning farmer loan with the USDA back in June to buy a piece of land here north of Moscow to expand the farm, because a half an acre is not enough. And I got everything miraculously went through. I got approved. I got the land, and so now I have 30 acres of ground that was previously in a conventional wheat barley rotation that I'm going to be in the process of converting to an organic diversified fruit and vegetable farm. So that's going to be very expensive. So I'm looking to marketing models and sources of funding that have worked for people in the past, and we're doing a CSA this year, expanding the RSA. But largely, I'm still sinking every penny I have into the business. And what I did for the first 3 years of Moscow Urban Farm Company is I worked a full-time job, which allowed me to funnel all the money that the business made back into the business. So I didn't have to try to live off of the farm income, which was really taxing to do full-time work, full-time school, and run the farm. But I did it, and it allowed me to, I think, get the business up off the ground, which was, I don't have any family money, I don't have any family land, I don't have any resource to start with, so, and land around here is really expensive. And I could move further away, but that's sort of part of the problem. So I was trying to get land as close to Moscow as my main market as possible. So I borrowed money from friends. I bought the old Crossroads greenhouse a couple years ago. I borrowed money, just a direct loan from a friend, helped me buy that. I'm still paying him back. I'm forever grateful. I'm trying to learn how to maximize its use, but I knew that I wanted to be a bigger farm, and that if I was going to do that in this region, you need to be able to make your own transplants. You need a greenhouse. So it was biting off more than I could chew at the time, but now I'm really happy I have it. Other sources of funding, I found USDA microloan to help get some equipment that I needed this past year, and that was huge. So basically, I've just gone into piles of debt. Some of it bad debt. I've racked up every credit card I have. I borrow money from friends. I've got good debt, low interest loans from the USDA. But I'm just scraping it together. So from anywhere I can find a penny, I take that penny and I funnel it into the business.